Hi, hello, and welcome to British English with me, Alexandre. Today we're gonna be talking about another lesson about the present continuous and the present simple too. Actually, this is the unit 2 of those two tenses. We're gonna go through that exercise, and as I've already explained, this is an excellent way to improve your pronunciation, connected speech, and learning vocabulary along with grammar. And that way, by studying that second unit, you will know effectively, uh, really well, those two very important fundamental tenses of advanced English. Please, before anything else, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel so that we can help English learners all over the world. Now, we're using that grammar. This is advanced grammar in use from Martin Hewins from Cambridge. So we're learning about British grammar, which is essential to understand English. Okay, let's go through that second unit here. Unit 2, we're talking here about present continuous and present simple too. Section A. Let's go ahead. We often use the present simple and the present continuous in stories and jokes in informal spoken English, and that's the reason why those two tenses are extremely important to understand well. They're used in stories and jokes in informal spoken English to create the impression that events are happening now. This can make them more direct and exciting and hold people's attention. So, in that example, she goes up to this man, present simple, and looks straight into his eyes, present simple. He's not wearing his glasses, present continuous, and he doesn't recognize her. So again, a little bit faster. She goes up to this man and looks straight into his eyes. He's not wearing his glasses, and he doesn't recognize her. So in that sentence, the present simple is used three times, and the present continuous is used one time. Another example. This man's playing golf, present continuous. When a kangaroo bounds up to him, present simple, grabs his club and hits his ball about half a mile. So you can see that the present simple and the present continuous are used in the same sentence. So here we go. The explanation for that. The main events are usually described in sequence using the present simple, and the longer background events are described using the present continuous. So you can see when it says, for example, this man is playing golf, this is the longer background event. And the fact that a kangaroo bounds up to him, grabs his club, and hits his ball, three actions using the present simple. The same with the previous sentence. She goes up to this man, looks straight into his eyes, then he's not wearing his glasses, this is a background event, and then the present simple again, and he doesn't recognize her. So again, the main events are usually described in sequence using the present simple, and the longer background events are described using the present continuous. In narratives and anecdotes, the present simple can be used to highlight an event. often it's used after past tenses and with a phrase such as suddenly or all of a sudden. For example, so last night, I'm waiting for the bus, present continuous, when this man walks up to me and says. So in that sentence, we're using the present continuous to present the background event, and then two actions happen in the present simple. This man walks up to me and says. So two actions, to walk and to say. So you can see that the present continuous is intercalated with the present simple, and it's really usual, especially in narratives and anecdotes. Then it's important. Another example, in the past, in that case, I was sitting in the park reading a newspaper. So in that case, we've got the two continuous forms, one in the past, both of them actually in the past. I was sitting in the park reading a newspaper when all of a sudden this dog jumps at me. When all of a sudden this dog jumps at me. We're using the present simple referring to a fact that happened in the past. So this is used usually to tell a story, a narrative, or an anecdote. Okay, let's go now through section B. We also use the present simple and the present continuous in live commentaries. For example, on sports events, when the report takes place at the same time as the action. For example, King serves to the left-hand court and Adams makes a wonderful return. She's playing magnificent tennis in this match. This is an opinion, right? King serves to the left-hand court and Adams makes a wonderful return. So the narrator says she's playing magnificent tennis in this match. Let's go now through section C. We can use the present simple in phrases such as it says here, I hear, I gather, I see, I understand, and they say, or someone says, someone tells me, to introduce news that we have heard, read, seen, e.g., on television or being told. We can also use past tenses, e.g., it's said here, I heard. For example, I gather you're worried about Pedro. Sophia tells me you're thinking of emigrating. Professor Hendricks is at the conference and I hear she's an excellent speaker. So you can notice that we use the present simple in both of these cases to introduce news that we have heard, read, seen, or been told. Let's go now through section D. The present simple is often used in news headlines to talk about events that we have recently happened. For example, you see some headline on the television and you want to report that news headline. So for example, you might come across with sentences like these. Second quake hits Japan. What hits Japan? Second quake. Second quake hits Japan. It's a matter of asking the verb. Breaks out. Second quake hits Japan. Breaks out in hotel room. Sorry. Let me fix that. Fire. Fire breaks out in hotel room. What breaks out in hotel room? Fire. So we're reporting news headlines, right? Scientists find ice on the moon. Who find ice on the moon? Scientists. Scientists find ice on the moon. Minister resigns. Who resigns? Minister. Foreign minister. Foreign minister resigns. Who resigns? Foreign minister. We can use the present simple to refer to the contents of books, films, newspapers, etc. For example, Thompson gives a list of the largest European companies in chapter 6. Or, at the beginning of the book, three men find $4 million in a crashed plane. In the film, Lonnie Baranski takes the role of a private detective. So again, we can use the present simple to refer to the contents of books, films, newspapers, etc. Let's go now through section E. We can use the present continuous with the adverbs such as always, constantly, continually, or forever to emphasize that something is done so often that it is characteristic of a person, group, or thing. For example, A. I think I'll stay here after all. B. You're constantly changing your mind. Jacob is a really kind person. He's always offering to help me with my work. We often use this pattern to indicate disapproval. The past continuous is used in a similar way with these adverbs, e.g., was Olivia always asking you for money too? We can use the present continuous to describe something we regularly do at a certain time. For example, at 8 o'clock I'm usually driving to work, so phone me on my mobile. 7 o'clock is a bit early. We're generally eating them. That's it for today. With this Unity 1, which I published yesterday, and with that other unit, Unity 2, basically, if you can understand those two exercises, you're gonna be able to express yourself effectively in an advanced level in terms of present continuous and present simple too. So first, study present continuous and present simple 1, and then unit 2, present continuous and present simple 2. You might be able to know all the constructions in grammar terms in relation to those important tenses, present continuous and present simple. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. Please subscribe to the channel. Share the content with your friends, English learners all over the world. This is really effective because you learn grammar, which is necessary to understand English. How are you going to understand the sentences, the structures, the way that the present simple, the present continuous are used without learning grammar? It's also necessary to understand. And at the same time, you're able to understand the pronunciation, connected speech, alliteration, elision, sentence stress, word stress, all the things with the only one exercise, by reading out loud. And at the same time, you're increasing your vocabulary, going into the C1, C2 level of English, which are the highest level of English. That's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Cheers.